he experiences the divine. I mean, everything becomes divine. The divinity just, exudes through his very aura. So I remember actually in 2012, in the December, awakening, where we were on a cruise. There was a year 2012 as one of the, people talk about 2012, one of the conscious breakthrough at the time, the start of the conscious breakthrough. And I remember Swamiji in that, awakening saying that he's here not to create disciples, he's here to create gurus. He's the guru who creates gurus. And I was like, wow, what a bold statement. How can he create gurus? I was like, I mean, that was my question. Innocently, I was just wondering how he's here to create guru. I mean, I was excited about his bold declaration, that which means all of us will become guru. So now when this verse kind of came out, it just made me understand that when he said that he's here to create guru, means when all of us, when we experience the realization of the Brahman, the highest knowledge, become in that oneness, naturally you become the guru as well. So, but he's the ultimate guru. He's the guru of all gurus. So let's listen.
Guru Sakshat Sada Sad Brahma Pittamaha Tasya Sthanani Sarvani Pavitrani Na Samshayaha.
Yes, let's enter into verse 83.
Evam vidho maha muktaha sarvada vartate buddhaha tasya sarva prayatnena bhava bhaktim karotiyaha.
Okay, so 83 verse is translated as, then the life of a fully liberated person of wisdom becomes filled with devotion. You may be wondering, I thought that when you become, you have devotion, then you become fully liberated. That means attain the ultimate realization, right? But here it says, no, after you have become liberated, you become a person of wisdom because you attain the highest knowledge, but filled with devotion. That is something fascinating. It means you're a devotion. He focuses his very effort on service to God. And if we look at Swamiji, he's definitely the embodiment of that devotion. Look at the way how he served his gurus and the whole Guru Sampradaya, and of course, ultimately Paramashiva and Parashakti. So, enlightened, or you had the ultimate experience. Devotion becomes the undercurrent. You're just an expression of the devotion. And not only that, your every effort is service to God, to basically Paramashiva. So that is naturally you become a servant, you become a extension of Paramashiva, and all your effort become that service. Okay, so let's listen to this mantra again.
Evam vidho maha muktaha sarvada vartate buddhaha tasya sarva prayatnena bhava bhaktim karotiyaha.
Okay, let's enter into verse 84.
Sarva sandeha rahito mukto bhavati Parvati bhuktim muktidvayam tasya jihvagre cha saraswati.
So another fascinating expression when you experience that liberation. He said he is free from worries. And say, great, no more worries forever. And mukti, okay? Move, join the world and the worldly fulfillment. You enjoy both, okay? Oh, Parvati, his tongue is graced with Saraswati. That's why Saraswati resides in the tongue of the Guru, and which is the goddess or the Devi of speech, learning, and knowledge, right? Devi Saraswati reside in his tongue. When you become, liberated, when you become that liberated soul, and you also become the Guru. So that's why you can see why Swamiji, he's a perfect description of worldly fulfillment and that whole expression of liberation, right? And he doesn't need to memorize anything. The moment he opened his mouth, Saraswati just flow through him. So if we want to speak, and be graced by Saraswati, once you attain that liberation, Saraswati just permanently reside on your tongue. So let's listen to this mantra again.
Sarva sandeha rahito mukto bhavati Parvati bhuktim muktidvayam tasya jihvagre cha saraswati.
Yes. Let's go into the verse 85.
Yatraiva tishthate sopi sadeshah punyabhajanam muktasya lakshanam devi tavagre kathitam maya sarvashuddhah pavitrosau svabhavadyatra tishtati tatra devaganaah sarve kshetre pithe vasantihi.
All right, verse 85 basically is translated as the supreme purity and taintless quality of the Guru draw all that is holy to him. So this place where he lives naturally becomes sanctified and filled with a multitude of deities. So wherever he goes, the place that he lives becomes a natural place that is not only just purified but sanctified. It means become a divine energy field and filled with multitude of deities. That means deity live around that place. In these ways, O goddess, I have described the nature of a liberated person to you. Okay, so basically, Paramashiva say this is how a liberated person live and radiate in the last few verses. Okay, so let's listen to the mantra again.
Yatraiva tishthate sopi sadeshah punyabhajanam muktasya lakshanam devi tavagre kathitam maya sarvashuddhah pavitrosau svabhavadyatra tishtati tatra devaganaah sarve kshetre pithe vasantihi.
Okay, let's enter into the last verse for this week, 86. A short one.
Upadeshastatha Devi Guru Margena Muktidah Guru Bhaktistatha Dhyanam Sakalam Tava Kirtitam.
All right, verse 86 is translated as, O Devi, by following the path of the Guru, I have clearly shown you how to achieve this liberation through devotion to the Guru and through meditation on the Guru. So basically for the last few weeks, we have been learning about why we need to meditate on a Guru, why we need to have devotion to the Guru. And then when you have the devotion, how everything just flower into the oneness, the realization, that means merging all the embodied soul with the cosmic consciousness, the pure consciousness. And once that attainment of the liberation is experienced, what happens to the being, how the person, wherever he goes, wherever the person's ready, how is it like the nature? So this has been what we've been learning. So let's listen to this mantra again.
Upadeshastatha Devi Guru Margena Muktidah Guru Bhaktistatha Dhyanam Sakalam Tava Kirtitam.
Great. So I'm going to now pause for a little while. I will take some questions. I know there's some questions from last week. Anita want to ask some questions. Then we'll go into Swamiji's enlightenment experience. This was something he showed me last week, that I should do this with all of you. So basically, I'm going to show you Swamiji's first enlightenment experience at the age of 12 at the foothill of Arunachala Hill, where he experienced the 360-degree experience. It was actually put together as a video in a cartoon form. So I'm going to make you watch this whole 360 degrees, a very short video, like 3 minutes or so. But you get a glimpse of that. From that glimpse, you're going to sit with Swamiji and entangle in oneness with him and just experience that altered state of consciousness in this session. Before this week, we learned about the state of realization, right? When the individual embodied soul merges with the supreme consciousness. So how that experience is like. So you're going to experience how the water of many rivers merge with the ocean, and all the space inside and outside of a clay pot is perceived as the same space. So from entanglement with Swamiji, through his first enlightenment experience, you're going to catch that in today's session. Okay, what's the question? Anita, you have a question? You want to speak or you want to type?
Yeah, I'll just speak it faster.
Yeah.
So the question I have is, are we too invested? Okay, maybe the definition of the self is still a bit maybe vague to me. Are we too invested in the self? So that is why there's so much barriers to sort of have this merge between the individual consciousness and the universal consciousness. That's where we are all struggling, not all, some of us.
So when
because
you
we're too invested
in your, you say self is a small I, right? This identity. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out, is the self same as individual consciousness, or is that separate?
In the way how many scriptures describe, there is individual consciousness, that means the small I, how you perceive you, how you perceive your, image and outer image. You created this whole so-called the small I. Okay, the small I, based on your past experiences, the way you've been brought up, the way you have been, cognizing about yourself and all that. So that as a combination, you create certain identity and certain perception of you. Okay, so obviously all these are not true because they are built on certain circumstances, certain past, certain wrong cognition. Everything put together, you created this so-called pseudo-identity. Okay, so, but this so-called pseudo-identity has to be broken in order to experience that, the true I, the big I, the universal consciousness. That means because you are Paramashiva, you are that source, you are that. So for that to happen, we have to understand, it means experientially, by the grace of the Guru, where he guides us to drop all our wrong cognition or the hangovers we carried from the past, the pain, hurt we are still suffering, all that needs to drop till you start experiencing the, liberated thinking, like you feel liberated, not clutched to all the wrong ideas and beliefs given by society, given by parents. So once that is loosened up, that means you're able to let that go and, enter into the pure space of, silence, that experiencing that so-called Paramashanta Swarupa, that inner peace. See, from the inner peace only the ultimate experience of Ananda, that means the flowing of the consciousness can happen. So attaining that, what we need to get into before the, by the Guru's grace. So through that whole process. I hope I answer your question.
Yeah, so what you're saying, if I summarize, then the inner peace equals to the individual consciousness after removing all the layers of
What I'm saying that the cosmic consciousness is beyond words. It can't describe. Or what I'm saying,
but there's two. Oh, sorry. Then I misunderstood. There's two consciousness. One's the individual consciousness and universal consciousness, right? And we're supposed to merge.
Okay,
and I'm trying to understand what's the individual consciousness.
Individual consciousness is what you perceive with your, right now, how you see right now. The called a jiva. Jiva means the embodied soul. Okay, it's not experiencing that cosmic consciousness, right? Para-atma, because we form certain ideas about ourselves. So we have so-called feeling of this separation. We feel separate because we feel, but we never see ourselves as this one, because if we feel ourselves, we're already enlightened, right? We feel that we're not, because there is feeling of separation. So, but this separation feeling is a delusion, it's Maya. So what we need to understand is that we are one and the same, but we just need to break that belief or the idea that make us believe we're separate. I remember in Kailasa, one of the Akashic reading, he said that the soul and that is never separate, was never separate at all. It is us who believe it is separate because of the wrong cognition we've been given, or the wrong belief we're holding on. Understand? So when you let go, you realize that you have never really separated. It was always.
Okay, now I understand. Yeah.
Great. Okay, no other questions? Huh? Everybody's clear? Huh? So shall we watch the video? Then you're going to sit and try to catch that Swamiji's enlightenment experience at the age of 12. Jarishadika, are you trying to ask a question?
Yes, so our soul is never separate from us.
Never.
Probably.
Never. It was never separated. That's why it says that you can never be touched. In the Ishavasya Upanishad, it says that you can never be violated because you're never separate. You're always Paramashiva. But the problem is that you don't believe you're Paramashiva, because your mind thinks that you have lower identity than the ultimate. So because of that, you can't accept that you are Paramashiva. Understand? You choose to hold on to the low identity, which is your ego. Because ego is not like beating your chest. Ego means what? Having a lower cognition about who you truly are, other than God. Okay? So because you forgot that you are Paramashiva, you hold on to a low cognition that you are someone and you are something like this. You have problem. You are this body mind. You have a law in conclusion and all this kind of things. All this is what make you believe that you're separate from the source. Okay, great. So now I'm going to share now the video, Swamiji's first enlightenment experience, and then after that we're going to sit. So you have your I-band with you now. Do you have your I-band with you? Yes. So let's watch now. I'm going to share now the. Yeah. Okay, so let's share this. Okay. So watch this video of Swamiji's enlightenment.
Almost like Who am I who is so discontented about my own existence? Who am I that is experiencing this deep discontentment, suffocation? It was such strong taking over. I can see very clearly that heaviness just went into depths of the consciousness. Suddenly, one moment, the first thing happened is that idea inside and outside broke. The first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree, 10 direction, below me, everything. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience. I felt that the skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting and the skin of this body both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. The setting sun, rising moon, the whole Arunachala hill, all the plants, bush, shrubs, trees, everything, everything, everything. Just became so alive. The idea, something is inside and something is outside, is completely lost. I did not feel vulnerable. I felt powerful. So powerful. I just know I am that oneness is the existence.
All right, so let's sit now. Now that Swamiji described precisely his first enlightenment experience. So let's sit in that oneness space within and see what he showers. So if you wear eye bands, it'll be great. Otherwise, just sit in the oneness space. For those of you on Facebook Live, you're already here. Let's do it. So sit in any comfortable meditative posture. You can sit in Padmasana if you can. Otherwise, sit in Sukhasana with the whole head, neck, and spine in one straight line. And just close your eyes and visualize yourself as Swamiji is sitting on the foothill of Arunachala, on that sacred rock where Devi had her enlightenment experience as well. That rock is called Paukundru. Just sit Because I'm Nithyananda, I'm Paramashiva, that experience can be transformed all of us just by that feeling connection with him. So let's sit for a few minutes. To that rock. Even better, you will be able to see clearly how everything is light in that 360 degrees. I was there in December 2019. Everything is becoming alive for me. I'm going to play that video one more time so that you can listen and
Who am I who is so discontented about my own existence? Who am I that is experiencing this deep discontentment, suffocation? It was such strong taking over. I can see very clearly that heaviness just went in consciousness. Suddenly, one moment, the first thing happened is that idea inside and outside broke. The whole 360 degree, 10 direction, below me, everything. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience. I felt that the skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting and the skin of this body both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. The setting sun, rising moon, the whole Arunachala hill, all the plants, bush, shrubs, trees, everything, everything, everything. Just became so alive. The idea, something is inside and something is outside, is completely lost. I did not feel vulnerable. I felt powerful. So powerful. I just know I am that oneness is the existence.
Just sit for a few more minutes in silence. Experience the great void, the emptiness. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And slowly, very slowly open your eyes. You're in the high. I'm still in the high. So how was the experience? I see anyone from the Facebook share anything. Do they have anything to share? Nothing. Okay, so they're watching, but they are not responding. That's okay. Or maybe they're still in samadhi. So, any questions so far? I think we can finish Guru Gita quite soon. By next 1 month, we'll finish Guru Gita. I have no idea what we're going to do next, but at the rate we're going, we'll finish very, very soon. Almost can feel everything like Swamiji. Nice. You know, when I was visualizing, I can feel my house where I'm sitting now. Okay, I can feel this, all the different direction around me. I can feel this. I can like visualize all the different surrounding. So that's quite amazing. I never felt that way before. Just by connecting with Swamiji, I'm able to see this side is Kai, this side is the extra room, this is the front, and you know, the kitchen area. So it's quite interesting. So I'm going to try that again tomorrow morning after yoga. sit with him again and see this 360-degree experience. Quite cool. My heart chakra open. Nice. This is from Maheshwari. Yeah, of course. That's where you're locked. You have to open your heart so that you start enriching. Taking responsibility to enrich others. So anyone else besides Maheshwari sharing? Straight away to samadhi. The minute I sit only, it was like, oh my God. Samadhi, that space of oneness. When I first started chanting Sadguru Vandanam, when we enter into the session, already started. But of course, the meditation was like a... Is that Jara Sharika, anything to share? Anandyata and Anita? No? Oh, this year's and birth, I'm seeking this oneness. Yes. Is that the knowing? Is that the knowing that you realize that this is what I'm seeking? Yes. That is the yearning of the soul, the jiva, the yearning of the embodied soul, which we are in now, the yearning to have that oneness. That is the awakening of the seeking. When you realize that that is the only thing that matters, whatever in the outer world become Maya, you just know this is the only thing you'll be running behind. Why we're all running behind this only? Only Guru Gita can give you the experience of that yearning. The intense yearning. Because you understand now. You are Paramashiva. And when you don't experience that you're Paramashiva, you start seeking intensely. You would start wondering how to have that, feeling of I'm Paramashiva. So all of you who are coming to Paramashivoham laboratory, you have that understanding at a deeper level. When you experience at a high dimension. Okay. You maybe feel like I'm Paramashiva. Initially, I too kept thinking, who am I at the start of these words? Yeah. See, there was a technique given by one of his guru, a technique to question into inquiry of who am I, right? What am I thinking? Who am I at the start of this? Which is what he was doing, the achapa, that meditation, the dhyana of that question, right? And then when the whole, because on that day when Swamiji had his first enlightenment experience, it was Paunami, it was full moon, Buddha's enlightenment day. So everything just aligned for that happening. It's full moon day. He's sitting on a rock where Devi, had her enlightenment experience. So, meanwhile, time and space, everything aligned. And he was doing inquiry. And as you know, that Swamiji is such a sincere seeker, right? So everything just aligned for that click to happen, and he got sucked into his, inner space, and that whole enlightenment experience happened at that time when he was 12. So we're so blessed to have Swamiji as our guru, because he's so compassionately showering all that he has received from Arunagiri Vishwara and all his gurus to all of us. So, all right. So if there's no further question, if you want to share further, you can share in the So with that, let's finish off with the Purna mantra. Thank you all for joining. I hope you enjoyed the session today. So close your eyes. Give yourself a bow from within in deep gratitude to the Guru, Swamiji, knowledge, experiences. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Tat Sat Sovam Bhagava Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Paramastu Om Nithyanandam.